bro. You on break or something?
Alrighty, everyone. That was Pink. Just give me a reason.
This is Dr. Intimacy. You're listening to Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio. All right, so we have to go to a little break so we could talk to OZ. So OZ is actually going to come to me and Mon's event Saturday. He's going to bring his wife. What we decided while we were off air, while we were continuing to dialogue with him, that it would just be best if we could meet him and his wife at the event and dialogue and see if we can work through some of the stuff, because that's what Meeting Moms, part of why it's set up is for us to learn how to have healthy confrontations and how to have discussions. So do you think, I know we can't work out all of their issues at an event like that, but do you think it's a good way to break the ice on even a difficult situation like that, Ronald?
I definitely think so, because one, what it will do is that it will put them in an environment of harmony, and then it will just permeate, and at least they can settle or forget about the imminent or immediate animosity that may be arising. Hopefully they can make it from their home to the event without choking each other out. but like what Jerome talked about with those steps is that, one, cool off. And then it's going to put them in an environment to where it will not allow for further frustration and things like that to be had. And then it just giving them that opportunity just to talk about something different, and then to be together.
That's true.
It's going to be really, really eloquent, elegant, classy, and so it's going to be a great environment, great vibe, and they're going to probably leave with just awesome vibe and have a good time. Somebody might be a little sauce, I don't know, but you're definitely going to have a full belly if you get there at 5 o'clock, and they'll be there happy and can sleep it off and then wake up and then have a more fruitful confrontation.
That's good. I like that. I like getting into a different environment. And sometimes in order to resolve a conflict, you need to step away from it. I don't know specifically what OZ's issue is or what his approach is, but one thing that I know about men in general, typically men are fixers, and they want a quick fix to everything. Yeah. And there are some things that just can't be fixed quick. Like if a woman is crying, a man will go get her a plate of food. She may be crying over. She might be crying over something that happened with her mother. And he's like, "You want to go to dinner, baby?" He's like, "No, I want you to listen to me, please."
Exactly.
And so men are very uncomfortable when they can't fix something. It makes them feel really inadequate, and they feel like a failure. And kind of what I heard when OZ was talking was that he just wants to fix his wife really quick. Let me fix you with food. Let me fix you by paying the bills. Let me fix you with flowers. But she has all of these deep wounds that have nothing to do with anything that you've done. And really, you're compounding the wound or exacerbating it by presenting the wrong fix. Because she feels like she's not being heard. I'm trying to discuss my issues with you, and you're giving me flowers.
Now, another thing to think about is what about old Queen's perspective, as far as what OZ is really doing,
We haven't heard her side of it.
Yeah, there's always two sides of the coins, and so
that's true. That's why I said I want to meet them both.
Yeah, exactly. So we give them all opportunity to give their perspective.
This is true.
That's true.
This is true, because there might be something totally else going on that we don't know about. So it's not fair to just make an assessment based on that one side. But anybody listening right now having that kind of issue, we're getting low on time, and there's a couple of things that I definitely want us to wrap up with, just letting people walk away from this show knowing what they should do next. And there's some conflicts that just can't be resolved at home. That's why we have mediators, that's why we have therapists, that's why we have behavior specialists. I'm a personal insight specialist. Sometimes you need some help. You need help resolving conflicts, and there's nothing wrong with making an appointment to go see somebody. Some things just need to be talked through. You really have to hash it out over and over again. Even when I was talking about that refiner's fire, that's not something that you do once. Metal has to be put through the refiner's fire over and over and over again to get it to 100% purity. And so relationships that really matter, you'll be going through that refiner's fire for the lifetime of the relationship. You know, you'll have to have those confrontations over and over and over again. And I think it's really important for people to understand. Jerome, you're a very positive, optimistic person, because I noticed that every analogy or example that you gave, it always worked out in the end. You know, right? He's like, this example of the neighbor parking, you know, in front of your car every night. I mean, that neighbor's an a-hole. You know, I don't really think that having a calm conversation with a person like that is really going to resolve the issue, because they knew that they were blocking your car when they parked there. They don't care, so that's a deeper problem. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, you know what? I totally agree. You understand, I'm from the hood, I'm from Oak Cliff, so I will get on it, I will go home. I'm just being real. But at the same time, I have to give them that benefit of the doubt of grace at first, so they can understand that I came to them in a positive, light way. And if they take my positive or being nice for weakness, then a little Oak Cliff will start to come out gradually and show that it's nothing about being nice Jerome anymore.
But what are you going to do then? Because conflict is not always resolved. We're not always talking about people that are close to us that we're willing to do the work with. Matter of fact, let me go back to that and finish it up real quick. The revelation that I came to why I cut that person off, they just weren't important to me. It's not that they're not important, but they weren't important in terms of being a part of my inner circle, and I was not willing to expend the energy to try to bring this person into my life and make them fit the right way. And so I think, you know, people really need to understand, if somebody's willing to have a confrontation with you, they probably really love you. It's either that they really, really cherish, like OZ, you know, he cherishes that woman so much he doesn't want to lose her, so he's willing to have this confrontation over and over to resolve the issue. Or it's such an important fundamental belief or principle that's being violated, Jerome, like in the situation where the neighbor is blocking your car, you have to have the confrontation.
Absolutely.
But either way, you know, confrontation only arises because something is really important. And so that really speaks volumes to the value of it. You know, the end result is the value of confrontation. And that's why we want to know how to get a good end result. So what do you do, Ronald, when you can't resolve it, when it's not being resolved so easily? Now what?
Well, I mean, man, that can be a number of different answers, but I would say let's look at it from I guess a positive standpoint. If assuming that relationship or that value is high enough to where it would garnish or require, or you would go through the mud and go through the additional effort to continue to make it to deal with the conflict and come up with a comparable resolution, I definitely think that is necessary. That is the key. If it's not of value, then you just have to cut ties. If it's not that important to you, you just have to cut ties, because you don't want to keep, you know, going in that hamster circle and it's not working out, because it's expending your energy, and then you're going to be bitter about every other future conflict that may arise. Just like old Queen, you know, she's like, look, man, I hit my head over with these dudes all this time. Now I come to OZ, and he not showing me he's real OG. So now I'm gonna have to come through and bring my baggage.
Right.
That's good right there.
I love that. And Jerome, we just have a couple of minutes left, but just a quick final word on how to get to that good end result of a healthy confrontation.
I think just always trying to understand their point of view before yours.
Okay. I love that.
I think switching the situation and putting
Ronald making a stank face over there.
No, that's great. That's a great. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jerome.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
I think that, you know, that's a part of just growing and maturing as an adult, is trying to understand their hurt and pain before yours, because you already know yours, but you don't know theirs. So I think that's the most important thing. If I can just get something quick to understand, like, try to understand that person as much as you try to understand yourself.
Wow. That's a way to hit it. So, man, I just want to real quick just go over Jerome D. Johnson, motivational speaker, life coach, and behavior specialist. These were the 6 steps to conflict resolution. Cool off, use I statements, talk about yourself. 3, reinstate what he or she said so you can get an understanding. 4, take responsibility. 5, brainstorm on solutions. And number 6, affirm, forgive, and thank them for the confrontation. And that's really, really good. And that's for something that's working out. And then as Ronald said, when you can't seem to resolve a conflict, you really have to step back and evaluate the value or the importance of that relationship in your life. Are you willing to continue to hash it out, to go through that refiner's fire over and over again until you come to that healthy confrontation that leads to a resolution? Or is the person not worth it, and you just have to cut ties, and you really have to evaluate sometimes whether or not you're going to keep a person in your life? And I want to add one more caveat to that, because sometimes it might not be a matter of whether or not the person is valuable. The situation might be valuable, and if you can't resolve the conflict with a person, because you may have just a contrary argumentative person that is never going to resolve a conflict because they want to fight, that's when you got to go get the manager. Sometimes that's when you have to go to a higher authority. You may have to, if your kids, get your parents involved. If there's a conflict in the church, get your pastor involved. You may have to get the police or the courts involved. Sometimes you have to go to that extreme to resolve a conflict and preserve your life, preserve your property, and preserve your family. But at the end of the day, hopefully, after hearing this, people understand the benefit of conflict and the value of confrontation. But I tell you what, why don't we continue this discussion Saturday night, starting at 5 p.m. at the 10 and 11 Grill, right?
Yes, 1011 Grill. That is 1011 Corinth Street. Come on, be there. Don't be square. Get a lady that's fair. They'll be there.
Oh!
Bars.
Freestyle.
Bars.
Freestyle.
Remember, ladies, Ronald is single. He wants to see you in purple with toes done, causing whiplash and car accidents.
That's right.
But
all calamity.
Jerome D. Johnson will be in the house. Dr. Intimacy will be there. J Revival. So you definitely want to be in the house with us. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of fun. We can continue to have this discussion and lots of others. We'll see OZ and his wife in the house. But that's Saturday, July 30th, beginning at 5 p.m. If you want to stuff your belly, so ladies, don't wear anything too tight on the tummy, because your belly gonna be sticking out, and put a girdle on or something.
That's all right.
We getting down. At the 10 and 11 Grill, it's only $10 at the door, or you can go ahead and buy your ticket online. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We want to see you there and continue this discussion. This is Dr. Intimacy. You've been listening to Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio, where we're exploring the naked truth about love, life, and intimacy every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time in the Blue Bowl on Fishbowl Radio. We'll be back here next week. The topic next week is going to be hot. You don't want to miss it. Reconstructing Black love. Is it possible to bring the love back? Yes. Reconstructing Black relationships. That's the name of it. Reconstructing Black relationships. Can we bring the love back?
Yes.
So we'll be talking about that next week with my boy King Charles and Anastasia. He'll be at the Meet of Minds event this Saturday as well. He's going to be there. So we're really going to have a good time. Listen, check me out online, drintimacy.com. You can get my books there. Don't forget Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio on Facebook, on Instagram. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. And we appreciate you, OZ, for being our caller tonight. We will see you next week. Remember, a life inspired by love and intimacy is the only life worth living. Oh, we got the light splash. We stayed way over. Oh my gosh.